Welcome back, everyone. Today we are here live with Mr. Kwa Tang Hong in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Mr. Kwa is a certified NLP expert by the American Board of NLP. And not only is he a practitioner, he also truly believes in the principles of NLP and helping other corporates and leaders excel in business. Today we have Mr. Kwa sharing with us more of his expertise to help us through very challenging times that the world is now seeing with the coronavirus. Welcome back, Mr. Kwa. How are things in Kuala Lumpur?
Hi, thank you, Donna, for inviting me again. As to what things are in Kuala Lumpur right now, we are under something called movement control order, where we have to stay at home in order to keep ourselves safe and keep other people safe. Well, I think it's not business as usual at this point in time.
Well, uncertain times may call for different measures. Mr. Kwa, I'm pretty sure that in your years of leading many corporations, such as L'Oreal and other organizations, being a general manager has given you many challenges. And I'm sure you've gone through many difficult and uncertain times. Kwa, let me ask you this. In all your years of managing and leading companies, what was one of the most memorable experiences that you have come across? And what was the lesson learned from that experience?
All right, Donna, thank you for the questions. That's interesting because the thing that pops up in my mind right now actually is one of the very important experience that I had many years ago, even not as a general manager. I was a key account manager then. I was having a good life in Boston where the Gillette HQ was. By the time it was completed my assignment, I was transferred back to Malaysia in 1997, where it was the time where there was this currency devaluation in the entire Southeast Asia. Economy was so bad that actually a lot of people are being laid off. There are actually companies that only, for example, pharmacies open half a day. Okay, so collection becomes an issue and so on. That is when I came back and become the key account manager for many retailers. I won't put some names, some of them already disappeared. Anyway, now the interesting part is that based on all the accounts that is under my portfolio as a key account manager, in total, all of them grew by 20% in that epicenter, the time when things was truly bad. So, and the question actually is that what did I do so differently that the retailers that I'm in charge of grew by 20% when a lot of my other colleagues or other retailers are generally trying to maintain, if at all possible. Now, this is one thing that I learned out of it. The good news actually is that I was very ignorant at the time. That's because before that I was in marketing. So when I transfer back into sales, I actually don't have much understanding about sales. So therefore, what I have are two very important knowledge. One is my marketing knowledge, and number two is my common sense. And based on this, I helped to grow the customer by 20%. So how did that happen? This is because during times of business unusual, we need to be aware that actually when times are business unusual, the rules of the game will change. So in this case, the rules of the game changed a lot during that. And the game is not about how many promotions that you do at the retailer, how much deals you can give to the retailer. It's nothing about that. It's all about, how can we get our stocks on the shelves so that customers or shoppers, when they walk in, they can still able to buy. And why are the shops, or why are all the shops, usually the shelves are empty, is because the retailers need to conserve their cash. And because of that, they are dragging a lot of payments. And because of that, the suppliers, like a lot of other FMCG companies, refuse to supply until they actually see the payment. Now, the funny thing actually is that it is one of we call it a catch-22. If you don't supply stocks to the retailers, then they cannot sell to the shoppers. And because of that, the retailers won't have enough money. And because of that, they couldn't pay us, and we stop supply again. But the fact that the retail store shelves are empty, which means consumers continue to buy from the stores. Then all this thing, you look at the whole situation, it boils down to one thing. The whole way of winning is how can I put my stocks on the shelves? But to do that, the retailers need to pay. Then because of that, I have three parties. I need to take care of the interest of the customers, my retailers who wants to get the stocks. I need to take care of my company who wants to take care of who wants to prioritize that we are protected in terms of our collection. That means money. So what I have done was a very simple technique. Of all the great promotions that was organized by marketing at the time, I approached the retailer and I told them something very simple. You and I are not enemies. We are supposed to work together how to satisfy shopper needs. And the fact that actually the shelves are empty simply means that shoppers are still buying from your stores. Now, how can we make it win-win? But there are two rules here. The first rule actually is that they have instructions from their finance team to delay payment. And we have our instructions that, okay, on our side, okay, do not supply until we receive payment. And it's going to be lose-lose on both ends. And nobody wins in this case, not even shoppers. So what we did was very simple. I take all the lucrative marketing promotions and bullets that I have, and I approach the buyer. Let's do a win-win situation. And what is the win-win? I am willing to supply you all these stocks based on these promotions, which is a discount, for example. Let's say there's a 15% discount on the stocks. Now, for the 15% discount, whether you want to use it as an early payment, okay, to convince your finance to pay us, or you want to transfer the discounts to the shoppers who are willing to buy at a lower price, I think it is purely my customer's prerogative. And based on that little thing, the finance team just find that if you're giving them more than 2% or 3% of prompt payment scheme, it is huge, because as far as they're concerned, the 2 to 3% or 3% is equivalent to 36% of interest. And for us, we are happily giving our 15% discount because we want sales. So because of that arrangement that we have, they are willing to pay on time. We are able to supply the stocks. Shoppers are able to buy, and they grow their sales. And in no time, I become their top supplier. And you can see that in this business unusual, the whole game is no longer about sales, marketing, promotions, pushing, pulling, whatever. It's nothing more than, can you just pay so that we can have the stocks on the shelves? And that was the little trick that how it grew by 20%.
That is amazing. I mean, a good blend there of empathy and negotiation and also influencing at the same time. True collaborative efforts coming from a great leader. And for all those of you who want to hear more from insights from Mr. Kwa, you can please feel free to visit him at www.mindconnect.com.my. Otherwise, stay tuned for next episode. We'll see you next time. Thank you.